It has changed how there weren't very many women covering, but I think they mean it as a compliment. But we're covering any sporting events on.
Starting over since.
When I first started in sport as 3 decades ago, you didn't say anything, because if you said something, you probably be perceived as being weak, not able to handle the job, so I didn't say anything at all.
There has never been a time where obscenity shouting has not been part of my experience in the field.
Someone yelled at me, "Nice beaver." And that was my first experience in a professional locker room.
It starts out with maybe something fairly innocuous like "you're beautiful" or "marry me," and then eventually that escalated to a point where this man thought that he could kiss me while I was on air.
I hear lots of personal comments instantly, and of course there's no filter. People go to their smartphone or their computer and they immediately tell me that they don't like that today, and it's quite something.
It's as though people are trying to outdo themselves with their negativity, to try to be more clever, more cruel than the last person.
I remember one time, not that long ago, I was on the streetcar, and it was a long ride, so I'm sort of checking Twitter, and I noticed that there was someone who identified themselves as a fan of my reporting, commenting on what I was wearing and my body, and then it quickly became apparent that this person was on the streetcar with me. Of course, I didn't know who it was that was doing it because they were using a pseudonym, and as time progressed and the comments got increasingly frightening and really, really specific, it's like live tweeting my every gesture or move on the streetcar, I realized that I was really afraid to get off at my stop, to get out. I just feel like that for me is something that's really sad, because that could change and has changed how I approach my job and my life.
I was outside the ACC with my cameraman. We were getting ready to go live. We probably had only a few minutes before the live, and there was a group of men behind us, and they started catcalling. And one man in particular started to get very personal. He said, "Hey you," in the whatever color coat I was wearing. "Nice I want to you in the ass. You've never had it so good. You won't believe it." And he went on for a long time, and at first I just sort of brushed it off. I made a joke of it with my cameraman. I let it go, but it just kept going and going and going to the point where it felt like it felt like a violation. It felt like sexual harassment.
This doesn't happen in a vacuum. We're never alone in these circumstances. Why hasn't anyone else stepped up to these people who are flinging the vulgarities and said, "That's not appropriate, it's not funny, it's never been funny, and it's not cool"?